Hi, this is Majinoni, and I got a bunch of reviews for you today. There's DC Universe Online Legends number 5, Reign of Superman Batman Annual number 5, Nonplayer number 1, Annihilators 2, and then Herc number 1. I'm going to do a Herc number 1 first for you guys. Now, this is actually a really great introductory issue for people who might not be familiar with Hercules. And it basically takes place, obviously, right after the Chaos King storyline, and he's without his super godlike power. He's back down on Earth, and he's been giving various tools, like the shield, arrows, sword, and then he basically pulls each one of these weapons out, and then you get a little glimpse of this is what this was used for type thing. So I thought that was actually kind of a good introduction to the character. It's basically, like I said, it's just designed for newbies, and it definitely sets the stage where this is not the same Hercules that you remember. As you can see here, Hercules got shot, and then, it's actually, he feels pain, and, he never really was like that, to that extent. From there, he basically just ends up at a Greek restaurant, and they're being muscled out, so Hercules lends a hand, and has an affair with the daughter of the guy, and that was just a really disturbing panel right there. And then it ends with the Hobgoblin. Overall it was a decent issue. I'm going to get number 2, but I don't think this was like a true standout. It's clearly, at least in my opinion, this was like a solid but average issue, but still enjoyable. I know I really didn't give it much, a lot of feedback to this issue, but I got a lot of other titles to go through, and since it's old, you guys probably, you might, I don't know, I'm not sure if this thing is still even on the shelf any longer, but if it is, it might be worth a try. Next up is Annihilators, number 2. Now, I know I was pretty harsh on the first issue, but this second issue is exactly what I expected and wanted from the Annihilators. It was full of action, it had some humor to it. There's a couple times where they make reference to the fact that, not bad for an alpha level character, alpha powered character or person. And, this whole thing was great. Nice little revelation was made at the end of this story here, and I'm really truly looking forward to seeing what's to come from this. I'm really hoping, now my expectation has gone right back up again, and I think this is truly right back on track again. The art is fine. It's not probably what I would have liked to have seen, especially coming off of some of the other space issues, but I think for whatever, it just fits. Everything just fits. The characters are fine. There's a great dynamic between them. The Space Knights is actually, like I said, I'm really happy that they're going to the realm of the Space Knights because they just haven't been used in years. And then when they did pop up, they just showed up, and then that was it. And so I'm really, really glad to see that they're actually getting some love. And very excited, very, very happy with this. I'm not really going to go into Rocket Raccoon that much, but I still enjoy Rocket Raccoon. I don't know why. Sue me. I just love it. Next up is Nonplayer. Now, Nonplayer, I really enjoyed this issue. It's basically, the best way to describe it is, it's basically picture WoW in the 24th century. People are basically able to, you don't need a computer to go into the game. You have these little attachments to put on your head, and it sinks you in type thing. And you are, in a sense, your character. Now, the art is fantastic. I think the story was. See, I don't want to say the story was fantastic, also because this to me reminds me of Dot Hack, and in Dot Hack, the very first one that came out, there was a problem where the guy couldn't log out of the game, and in a sense, this almost has something similar, but it's not like to that extreme. It's basically they go to do like a quest, for an example, and they pretty much are going through the enemy, but then their target disappears, and that's where the bug is. And from there, that's where they have to figure out what's going to happen, what's going on. I think the art, the art was good. The action was fantastic, phenomenal. I think they gave, just from what we got from this first issue, I think that it gave you a really good idea of like how the game is. I mean, it's like, even though we only got a little piece here and there, at the end when the players go out of the battle part, you get to see a little, like, it's kind of like a waiting room of sorts. And then, I mean, I thought everything was just really nice touches. I would, depending upon how the rest of the issues go, I would really love to see this as a hardcover, you know, with extra artwork at the end. But then this is done by one person, you know, he's writing and drawing it, so I'm only hoping and praying that this guy is on time. Because if he goes the way of other image creators, and it's like we have to wait 4 or 5 months between issues, I'll give up on it. But so far, like I said, this issue was solid. I know it's hard to find, so if there's a second printing, hopefully you can get it, or else what I would just do is go to your comic store, put number 2 in your file, and then start from there. Alright, next up is the Reign of Doomsday Superman Batman Annual number 5. Phenomenal issue. This was so good. The art was okay, but I think the type of story this was, it just made me totally enjoy the artwork a lot. If this was like a regular comic without all of this action, and I don't know if I would have liked it that much. Basically what we have is Doomsday attacking Cyborg, Superman. They're on the JLA satellite thing. You have Batman, you have Supergirl, and on the outside you can see the satellite, the space station thing is like changing. You have the Blue Lantern, and I think it was in Starboy or some Starman or something like that. Great. I mean, everything about this was just fantastic. It was just action, action, action. I liked how Supergirl kept calling Batman Grayson, and I'm like, secret identity. But Cyborg Superman, again, he just pisses me off because he's a supervillain who wants to die, and he just can't die. And there's a moment in time where he thinks he's going to die, but that doesn't happen that way. Work out for him that way, obviously. Then we get to see an example of the JLA Danger Room. Nice little copy of the X-Men. And this is the weird thing that happened was throughout all these battles, Doomsday has been evolving. Like, for example, he gained flight, and now he's gained a metallic type body. So I'm kind of curious to see how that's all going to turn out. But overall, great issue. I was so glad I bought this because this really was good. And finally, DC Online Legends. Now, again, this follows the process. The story of you have the present and the past. I'm sorry, the past and the future, and the JLA satellites being or space stations being attacked by the nanobites, and in the future you have Luthor and Adam and Black Canary going against Brainiac's stronghold, and what they're doing is they're looking for Sinestro's world, homeworld. And the one thing I could say is I kind of like about this issue here, or this story, is the fact that you can have the Atom without a hand. You know, he got blown away in the last issue. Now, I understand this is a throwaway book, and I fully understand that there's no continuity or anything like that, but I just somehow, it feels more real to me because things are happening that I would expect to happen. You know, it's not like, you know, when I think of any, you know, Brainiac invasion that's wiping everybody out, I expect people getting killed, I expect people getting injured, and it's actually showing that kind of thing. So that's why it has a more realistic feel for me. But I'm enjoying every bit of it. There's basically what Luther's trying to do is he's trying to get the yellow rings, and they're saying, well, how come? What's the point of getting the yellow rings if all the Sinestro Corps have been killed? And Luther's like, no, you don't understand. They're caught by surprise. They don't have the tactics. I have that. We need these rings, and then even makes reference to the black rings. So to get 9 black rings, if he can get that, oh, that would be awesome. Now, the one part that I liked in the past part is, like, if you remember up here at the beginning, you have Aquaman, and he's encased in that healing thing, so he can heal. And there's the water part, right? And Superman saves him from the nanobots. He says, "Oh, don't worry, Arthur, get back in here. We need you at 100%. You'll just stay in there for another hour or so." Now, I'm going to show a spoiler because this is the best part of the whole book, and I swear to God, I'm so happy I bought it just for this part. At the very end, like, they're all trying to escape because life support, everything is going down in the station and it's going to blow up, right? So they're all trying to escape. They get to the teleporters, and they're like, okay, did we get everybody? Yep, think so. And then there's Aquaman still in the chamber in the water. Everybody forgot about Aquaman. I just was laughing because that was just awesome. It's like, out of all the characters to get screwed over, it was Aquaman. And it just seems that Aquaman just can't get a break no matter what happens. Brightest Day, he comes back from the dead, he gets turned into an elemental. And then there was that one series where Aquaman comes back, hey, fresh new start, and he loses his hand, and they put a harpoon on it. Oh, it was just awesome. This just became so much fun for me. So I'm really enjoying this. I might even buy the trade if it ever does come out. But anyways, those are my reviews. Overall, out of these extra books here, it was pretty enjoyable. I know I didn't really, because I didn't say much about Herc, but I really did enjoy it. If you have any comments or questions, let me know. Rate the video up or down and let me know what you think. And I'll have more reviews up later, so until next time.